Axolotls, one of the greatest creatures on Earth. Just look at them. Look at that smile. There's only one thing better than an axolotl, and that is an axolotl with a gun. AK-xolotl is a roguelike twin-stick shooter from Too Awesome Studio, published by PlayStack. It has been a game I've been keeping up with since announcement, and the demo held promise. I was lucky enough to be blessed with a review code for the game by the lovely people over there. Thanks guys, but since my country has an ongoing power issue, it really cut into my plans, so this review will be a day or two later than expected. But let's not dwell on that for any longer than we need to. On to the review. The story is quite simple. One day, while taking a nap, some creatures come along and steal your food. They took the babies as well, but the food. So you set off to recover what was lost. When starting the game, you're given the choice between two difficulties. So if you don't want too much of a challenge, you have an easy mode, which gives you more damage, more health, and better healing. You're then put into the tutorial, which you can skip if you want, and then it's to the dungeon for you. For your first run with your trusty AK-47. Controls are simple. Move with the left stick, aim with the right. Fire your weapon with the right trigger, dodge with the left bumper. You can switch to your secondary weapon that you picked up during a run with Y. You can also use a mouse and keyboard if you're more comfortable with that control scheme. The main gameplay loop is enter randomized dungeons, kill all the enemies in a room before they kill you. Collect a variety of items, including temporary buffs and abilities during your run. Beat the boss, move on to the next area, and die. Die again, die a few more times. It's a roguelike. The game doesn't start off easy, but being a roguelike, you get to upgrade your arsenal and abilities after a run. Gather resources in the dungeon and spend them in your hub area. As stated earlier, you start with an AK-47, but other starter weapons unlock after meeting certain requirements, such as beating bosses, doing a certain number of runs, or killing a certain number of enemies. Facilities unlock after a certain number of runs as well. Once you've unlocked them all, you'll have access to a weapon shop, an item shop, a store for permanent upgrades, and a log to keep track of stuff like enemies and power-ups. The first thing you will unlock is the AK-xolotl pen. After finding an egg during your first run, when you're back in the hub, you can take care of your newly hatched AK-xolotl, feed, change, and clean the baby until its happiness meter is full and they can mature into teens. Or you can sacrifice the baby's happiness to boost your stats. Don't worry, you won't lose the AK-xolotls. Something I wasn't sure of at first, so I have my pens full of teen AK-xolotls and 2 babies. If I was gonna lose them, it might as well have been the ugly ones. Don't look at me like that. So my stats are still pretty low, and I gotta play catch up now. Another function of the pen is to mature teen AK-xolotls into adult AK-xolotls, letting you have a new character. You do this by cooking food with the ingredients you gather during your runs. And depending on what you feed them, you can get different abilities and stats. So it's not just a cosmetic change. I haven't gotten anything crazy yet, but you would have seen some of the abilities in the trailer, such as summoning a demon or turning Super AK-xolotl. The team did a great job keeping the gameplay loop engaging, and it will have you going back for one more run until a few hours have passed. System requirements are low, so you can easily run the game, and shouldn't be too hard for people to have a smooth locked 60 FPS experience. Game has also been bug-free during my time, which is always great to see. Since this is my first review on the channel, it's best to let it be known now. I won't be attaching a number to a game, as it does not convey enough, and most people now will write off games based on said numbers. So my scale will be simple, and based on whether you should buy the game or not, and dependent on its price. AK-xolotl definitely has enough to keep you busy with. And it's at a solid price, 180 Rand, or your regional equivalent. The game is also currently on a 10% discount for launch. It is a definite pickup, with even more content on the way. Plus you can get 2 exclusive AK-xolotls through Twitch drops. I might be streaming it right now. Maybe. It depends on my power situation. So go on, buy it. And if that hasn't sold you on the game yet, you can pet the AK-xolotls.